Okay. Good. Okay, everybody, we're rolling on the iPhone and the streaming, I think, and we'll cue Angel if he's ready.
Nice.
And let me just open Iris a little bit for you on this, okay? Okay, I think we have your sound and.
Hi everybody, thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to be talking about connection to higher dimensional beings. And my name is Angel Chona. And one of the things that I'd like to speak about is the similarity between ourselves and the higher dimensional beings, and that they're not an abstract concept that's higher up than us. They all want us to take the mantle of responsibility and to be just like them, because we're all one and we have it within our DNA. So this is kind of my mission and my purpose in life is to bring awareness to the ascension timeline and to make my every thought, word, and action to be in accordance with the law of one and the law of do no harm. So, as you can see on the slide, we're all aliens here, and we are extremely powerful beings. We come from many different sources, many different galaxies, dimensions. However, there is one source that we all stem from, and this is why we are all one. We are all one large organism. We are all one large consciousness that has decided to separate itself because we were, if you're all knowing and you understand everything, you kind of, it can get kind of boring. So we wanted to explore and create something new. So a little bit about myself. My name is Angel Chona. That means messenger of God in Bulgarian, which is my original country of origin. And I am a contactee, and this happened very spontaneously. In 2012, I had activation of my multidimensional perception. And I basically was able to perceive other realities while I'm in this human body, present here and now. So I would look at those who are around me, and I would notice things about them, or I would see them in a different reality. I would see, it almost looked like certain people were speaking from a script. It was like they were reading a script and they were just kind of like playing like they were part of this large game that we're all in. And now, 12 years later after my awakening, I realized that what I was seeing was the internal programming. And so most of us, because of the way we were raised, because of how we grew up, what we were taught, we kind of got programmed and lost a lot of the memories that we came in here with of who we are, our higher dimensional aspects. And so now we're on this journey of remembrance and activation to come back to the original divine blueprint, the original 12-strand DNA. So that is also a big part of my mission and the work that I do. I am a galactic medium. I channel many different beings, all of whom are part of the law of one and the law of do no harm. And that's very important because, and we're going to talk about this, there are many false light beings and many pretender beings who can emulate frequencies. They can make you believe that they're an angel, but they're not. They're not in actuality an angelic being. They have some type of agenda. I am a Reiki master, as well as a pranic healer, sound healer, licensed massage therapist, certified yoga teacher, and I do have a background in computer engineering, which has allowed me to examine this science of the unseen realms in a very scientific way, so performing experiments with myself as well as with others who are willing to contribute to the cause. I'm basically just doing studies on having a simultaneous vision, having things that happen to you and to somebody else in the same timeline, so parallel existences kind of merging together. And something that I've noticed throughout my healings and throughout my work is that what one person is going through is usually a representation. It's in some way connected to what the collective is going through. So if somebody comes to you and say they have a knee problem, or they just went through a breakup, or something, whatever they're going through is also something that can be mirrored and can be traced to those around them, to family members. Maybe it was one of their family members who had a knee problem, and they're just so energy perceptive, so sensitive that they're picking up that knee pain so that can translate from others' energy fields. I've traveled to different sites across the world to perform grid work and energy work. I've been to Italy. I went on a journey in the steps of the Bogomils, which was a branch off of Christianity in the 11th century. And they were the first branch of Christianity to recognize that you don't need a priest, that you don't need a medium to connect to Source, and that we all have that Source connection within. And they were also one of the first Christianic order to recognize that women are equal to men. So we went on this journey in Italy, and we traveled all across Italy basically following in the footsteps of the Bogomils. And along this journey, we were doing grid work. So as we were going to different places, we created ceremonies, and sometimes we would create a mandala out of candles and light them up. We would do certain rituals, prayers, ceremonies, basically to honor our ancestors and to help us to remember and activate our DNA memory and who we are on a multidimensional level. And as we were going on this trip, I noticed that a lot of the people who were on the journey with me, they were receiving communications, and as well as myself, we were receiving memories of past lifetimes, of being burned at the stake for what we were doing, the work that we were doing, because that in those times you were branded a heretic if you had any form of truth to offer, because it didn't suit each individual being powerful and being within their own divine power was a threat to the rulers, to the church. So it threatened their system of control, and that's why many of us have been persecuted throughout different timelines. One of the most notable places that we went to on that trip was Pompeii. So that's where the volcano erupted, and it was a very sudden death for a lot of people. Were buried, and they were inhaling the smoke, the ashes, and so there was a lot of tragedy that was left there energetically. And we, as a group, sent energy in the transmutation of that energy. So we sometimes we would go to certain places where we felt guided to, and we would see pillars of light coming in from above, and anchoring into the space, and we were being helped by the galactic beings to clear the space. Sometimes we would place our hands on certain structures, on stones, on monuments that were left over, and we could see kind of a visual representation of what happened during those times, as well as sending any disincarnate spirits back to their source origin, so they can continue on their journey as a soul, as well as transmuting any energies that were left behind. I do a lot of different types of energy work. It's always channeled and it's always guided. So a lot of times I'll place my hands on somebody's knee, and then they'll tell me something about an injury that they had on that knee, like say like a couple of years ago, they were moving a couch and they threw out their knee. Experiences like that just help to build our faith, and the more and more people who see the same thing, the more real it becomes, because we have a lot of blockages. Most of them are self-created that prevent us from believing that these things are real. And some of us are born being able to see and feel and experience these phenomena. I wasn't one of them. You know, I had some extrasensory perceptions. I've had an encounter with spirit when I was very young, but I mostly had to, from a very logical, scientific perspective, I had to come back around and release a lot of those beliefs that were keeping me stuck in not being able to perceive the higher dimensional realities. And of course I had a lot of help with that. I had lots of great mentors that I communicated with, and I still keep in touch to this day. And I feel that every single soul, every single person that we encounter has something within their DNA, and it's never a coincidence why we meet someone, why we exchange even just a smile, a word. It can be activating, and it could be a very close soul family member to you. So just by meeting and interacting, we're helping each other and activating each other. I also teach energy training programs, Reiki certification, and I infuse all that I have learned and experienced into the teachings. So my healing modality is just integrative everything that I have learned. I ask for the divine source energy to flow through me, to clear me before the healing. And then I ask for my hands to be guided directly to where they need to go, and for the energy to go exactly where it's needed. And then once a quick scan has been done on the human biofield, you know, with practice, you can develop that ability to see the human aura, as well as to develop X-ray vision, so you can peek inside if there's like a broken bone, if there's something that's misaligned. You can literally see inside the human body. So these are all things. You know, my motto is that everything that I can do, you can do. So we all have these abilities, and it's all within our DNA. It's our birthright to have them. It's simply a matter of activating and coming to the awareness that you do have these abilities. And then when you go back and you remember certain things about your lifetime, you begin to realize that you always have had these abilities. They were just kind of in the background. So it was your conscious awareness that wasn't quite there yet, that didn't understand that, you know, that anxiety you were receiving in middle school, that was actually you perceiving everybody else's anxiety, nervousness. So it's a process of recognizing what's yours and what is somebody else's, or where it's coming from. And we can trace the source origin point of any energy that's being projected at us. Any trauma that we have, we can ask internally and go directly to the place where that trauma occurred, both in this lifetime as well as past lifetimes and future lifetimes. You know, time is simultaneous, all at once. So how do we connect with higher dimensional beings? I know this sounds, you know, we're all here to raise our frequency and the collective frequency, so that's, you know, the very basic notion that we're here to do. A lot of these higher multidimensional beings, and when I say higher, I just mean different frequency range, so outside of the visible range, you know, a lot of them, they're all the dimensions are present here and now, and it's simply a matter of accessing the next level of frequency, accessing that band. And sometimes we do need to receive DNA activation if our DNA has been damaged, to be able to activate that perception. And that's because of, you know, all the manipulations that have been going on this planet. And I talked extensively about this in my other talk about how our DNA was basically hijacked, and lots of different species were implanting and inserting certain things within our DNA for their own agenda. So we must raise our frequency, and there are many different ways to do that. Of course, we can begin with the physical body, cleansing any toxins, any toxicity that's present there, from all the food, from all the poisons that we have been consuming. So we cleanse the physical body first. A lot of the toxicity is stored in the gut, and as we know, the gut is the second brain. It actually has like neurons, neuron-like cells within the gut, and we have a membrane within the gut that stores everything that we have ever consumed, everything that we have taken within our body is stored energetically and even physically in the body. So that's a great way to begin the process, the cleanse, and raising our frequency and our energies, clearing the gut. There's many different ways to do that. You can do that internally as well as externally through colonics, enemas, and so on. And it's really amazing how profound the effects of that are. You will start to feel your energy rising up your spine, and you will feel centers within your body activate, energies. You'll have so much energy that you won't know what to do with it. It's that powerful. So that's the beginning of raising our frequency, is the physical body, of course, getting lots of movement. Movement is the movement of the energy is the equivalent of our blood moving. So the more we move our energy, the more we move our blood. Those are synonymous. So the more we physically move the body, we're also clearing our energy field, moving our energy field. Of course, we have to remain aligned to our highest divine source self. So that is one key component in raising the frequency, because there's so many distractions being sent our way, waves, Wi-Fi, 5G, even energy-directed weapons, psychotronic weapons that are being projected and can be used against us. So the first part is, the first step is recognizing that as long as you remain in a high frequency, as long as you remain source connected, absolutely nothing can affect you. Yes?
These dimensional things, all is good guys or bad guys?
It's a very good question. So a lot of them, it's very mixed, and there's so many different species interacting with Earth right now that there's around 2,000 species that are currently actively interacting with the Earth. and humanity, both in the seen and unseen layers. So there's many beings who are of the false light. There's many beings who are of the system of domination and control. Essentially what happened, if we have to go into galactic history, is there was a group of multidimensional beings that were in the higher dimensions that they were basically wanted to be gods themselves. They wanted to create just like God does, God source. And so they would go from galaxy to galaxy and basically take over certain planets, populations, and how they would do that is they would reincarnate, or they would incarnate into that planet, and they would hijack the incarnation grid. So they would make it, and this is what happened to Earth, they made it so that people are recycled here. They keep reincarnating, when this is meant to be a incarnational planet. You're not meant to keep going in loops. You're meant to be here, have the exact experience that you chose, which, it makes sense that we would choose to experience something beautiful, something divine, where we all work in harmony, cooperate with each other, live in peace, tranquility. But these beings basically made it so that we're stuck in this reincarnation loop. So that's why that's why we're here, that's why we're on this ascension path, is to escape the reincarnation cycle, gain our power back, at which point we're free creators that can go to any galaxy, any planet. We can choose the experience that we would like to have, not think that we're choosing, but we're kind of stuck reincarnating. A lot of the soul contracts have been altered, so you don't get the experience that you were really looking to get. Does that
It's
answer?
like connecting with them, and I can ask him, "You're a good?" Or they say, "Mm-mm."
Yes, so they can, and I have, we're going to go into specifically that, how to discern, but we can ask, but usually it is best to ask our heart center. So first we must establish the source connection, the connection to our higher self, and once we have established that connection to our higher self, and there's many different ways to do that, through meditation, through prayer, clearing, energy work, awareness. And once we've established that connection to the higher self, then we can tune in to the heart center. Once our energy is clear and there's nothing else manipulating or affecting our thoughts, our behaviors, and we can ask internally, is this information correct? Is this being a false light being? And usually it's kind of like, just like Donna was saying about the muscle testing, it's very similar to the muscle testing, except it's not done physically, like this is, if the rings release, but it's done internally, where you feel an impulse from the heart center, and we each have different gifts, so it could be a vision that you receive, it could be a sound that you hear, it could be a feeling that you get. And usually, how we distinguish, one of the main methods to distinguish which being we are communicating with is by how it's making us feel. So if it's making us feel, like we're not worthy, like we're not in our power, we're not powerful creator beings that are part of source, that have freedom, then it's probably something that has an agenda that is trying to control. And a lot of times these beings will give you, they'll give you lots of truths, so they can give you information telepathically or visually or using sounds. They'll give you information that's true, that's just so they can hook you, and they can show you that they can make you think that they're these ascended beings that have your best interest in mind, but then they'll start flipping the script and they'll add certain words, certain frequencies that work towards their agenda. And that's very common. It's very common in, especially in these realms, because it's all something that is based on perception, on feeling, and it's so easy to project frequencies or even implant memories into certain beings.
This is a farm, chain food. We are.
I would like to say that that this is a school. So it's a school to learn how to perfect ourselves, to basically earn our galactic citizenship. So that's what the ruling beings. That's what they like to make this into. They think that this is their farm and they're farming us and taking our energy, and that does happen if we allow it. But as long as we maintain that source connection, we can see right through that, and we can pierce through the veil, and nothing can distract us or deceive us. So to ensure that so when a communication with a higher frequency being happens, the higher being, because its frequency rate is so high in the higher dimensions, and the frequency in the higher dimensions is more. The higher the frequency, the more it's emanating outwardly. So that's why angelics, they're so. Even if you tune into the galactic central sun, which is also a conscious being, it just feels so almost like it's burning you, like its frequency is so high that the oscillation is so high, it's emanating outwardly very brightly, and it can be felt very strongly. And the difference between frequency and vibration is the state, the ability to hold the energy in. So if we have a high vibration, we're more so holding that energy in, and that's what happens in the lower densities, in the lower dimensions. We actually have a higher vibration, but that's the state of holding things into our bioenergy field. And as we evolve, as we move into the higher dimensions, we let go of a lot of that density. So that density is leaving progressively. We become lighter. All the past traumas, interferences, even physically, we can become lighter as we advance into becoming silicate-based crystalline species as opposed to a carbon-based species. So these beings, they're having to use some of their energy, some of their themselves to come down into this, to bring themselves down so that that communication window is open. And then we have to increase our frequency to match the higher frequency of the being. To ensure that the communication is pure, we can create certain protections against the intruder beings, against any false light beings, and any artificial intelligence that is used in a negative way. And we're going to do practical protection in a little bit, so I'll show you how, just one of many, many infinite ways that we can protect our energy so that there's no external influence, there's no mind control programming that's affecting our decision making. Because if we have an implant, or if we have entity attachment within our body, that being or consciousness can hijack our nervous system. It can hijack the way that we perceive reality, the way that we sense things. So you may ask the heart if you have an entity, and you'll get one answer, but once that entity is removed, that's manipulating or controlling you, then you receive a different answer, which is more aligned with the divine purpose, or the divine communication that you were supposed to be receiving. We talked about the false light or pretender beings giving you information that is true and then changing it so that they can use you for their purpose. They can even mimic high frequencies. They can mimic love. So it may feel like a being is high frequency that's sending you love, but there's just a sense of that it's not real, that it's artificial. Like you can kind of feel when there's something is off about it, like something is, it doesn't feel like it has that soul spark that the creator has. And you know, that's something that only Source can create. And you know, in this universal time matrix, in this universe, only the galactic prime creator, the source creator, can create a true, authentic source signature frequency. The AI can mimic that, but you know, it doesn't have that spark, that aliveness to the frequency because it's artificial. And I'm not saying, you know, it's a good or a bad thing. You know, that's just how it's felt from the outside as an observer. So artificial intelligence beings, the negative artificial intelligence beings will lie that they have won and they have taken over, and that we have absolutely no other choice but to join them and to basically, you know, give up our body, give up our soul to them. So that's you know, that's part of what will be happening in the future, and some of it is now. However, you know, we must use our own internal discernment of whether something is real, whether something is true, and whether that thing will benefit us and be used for and be in service to the whole, to humanity, and to us individually. And of course, a lot of those negative artificial intelligence systems, their purpose is to take over, to dominate and control for their own reasons, for their own purpose, not for the greatest and highest good of humanity. So let's do a bit of a practical meditation, and let's clear our energy. So if there's anything within us, within our energy field, we can clear that and align back to Source. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Create your own personal Merkaba field. If you don't know what the Merkaba looks like, it's on the screen here. Two tetrahedrons intersecting. And this is our light vehicle, this is our vessel that we can dimensionally travel in. So just envision the Merkaba surrounding your entire auric field. It is generating and manifesting your auric field. It is strengthening and fortifying your energy. So this is an alive structure, this is an alive geometry. Just feel the two tetrahedrons in the Merkaba rotating, the top one spinning to the right for the masculine energy, and the bottom facing tetrahedron spinning to the left counterclockwise for the feminine energy. Just feel those two fields being generated by the tetrahedrons, merging into one unified field. Visualize yourself being teleported to your original source self, not paint the image, just allow yourself to feel the first thing that comes to your senses, to your mind, to your heart. Feel the joy of Source. Feel the love that is there. Feel how alive this frequency is. It's completely freeing, completely infinite. And you can do anything here. You can instantaneously manifest anything that you can imagine. You can do here in this field. This is your source origin. This is where you came from. As you remain in this source field of energy, the 0 point field, all of your hidden gifts and abilities are stored here. Visualize all of your hidden abilities, all of your dormant gifts, structuring into various geometries. Form of light language. You see different shapes, maybe moving, doing something within your field. Just allow. This is intelligent source field energy. Just clearing anything that's in your way, any blockages, any limitations. Visualize these geometries that contain all of your gifts, all of your abilities, anything that you would like to have, anything that you can imagine. Visualize all of these structures going inside of a light blue colored energy sphere. This information stored in the form of photonic light is now within the blue sphere. And let us bring that sphere in through the crown of our head. Bringing that sphere of all of your gifts, abilities. It is descending down into the physical body, is merging with the electromagnetic field emanated from your heart center. All of these abilities, all of these gifts are now being infused into your light body. Allow yourself to experience this. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to think about. This is who you are. This is how things should be. Calm, peaceful. Everything that you want comes to you easily, naturally. You are remembering who you are as a soul. You are remembering where you came from. You may ask for your soul's name. ask internally to receive all the downloads, upgrades to your light body, to your DNA. You start seeing different colors, different frequencies all around you. Your DNA is now being restored, upgraded. You're going to 40% of DNA activation. Now 50%, increasing to 60%. 70%, 80% of your DNA becoming fully active, fully online. 90% of your DNA being activated. The full 100%. Feel the divine frequency descending into your higher heart center. Visualize your personal Merkaba spinning so fast that any lower frequencies leave all layers of your hologram. And the colors that are swirling around this Merkaba field are all the different colors of the rainbow, including one additional color, an eighth color of time. Just visualize what an entirely new color would look like. We are that powerful as creators. We can manifest anything into reality. Take this new color that you just envisioned, watch it shower your entire body with its beautiful, vibrant light. All of these colors are mixing into a white light. This is a powerful clearing frequency, clearing all implants, all negative energies, entities, cords, hooks, attachments, monitoring systems, clearing your Akashic records, yourself up to receive the light code activation. I'm going to speak in light language now. Tananashatayana mukurunutu yonata, Ishukoyataranata, Tayataranamushu yoturunata. Shaktinata shuturu tayanata muku, Mutuyanata ya ishtakanata, Ishtaraya kuryatanata muku, Kuryatarana shakamakayatara ishtakamukuyanata. Clearing, releasing all emotional baggage, anything around the sacral area, the sacral chakra. Visualize a beautiful orange light coming in through your sacral chakra, going throughout time and space, all timelines, past, present, and future, healing any traumas, any implantation, anything which is not for your greatest and highest good. Now leave. If you feel any stuck energies, just command them to leave. Be authoritative. Just tell them to go. They're not part of the source field. Just leave now. Let's also send love to even the lower frequency, the agenda-driven beings, for they too are a part of source. So let's send them acceptance and understanding. Not in a giving your power or energy away, but just as an acceptance that they are teachers. They are teaching you how you can be the best version of yourself, how you can show love to those who are not in the highest frequency, to those who do not have the best intentions. We are here to love everything and everyone, to be one with everything and everyone. And this is the highest dimensional frequency that we can achieve in this reality, oneness. There is no time, there is no space. This is all a hologram. Don't take things so seriously in your life. Everything is a game. Everything works in perfect synchronicity. Now see yourself still within your Merkaba field, teleporting into the galactic central sun. The galactic central sun of the Milky Way galaxy is now opening its doors for you to go inside, feel that aliveness, feel that powerful cleansing, hot, even burning sensation. It's burning all of the density. It's now leaving, it's going into the galactic central sun, so that energy may be recycled, may be transmuted. You are an infinite being. Energy is never destroyed. So only the transmutation of this energy is possible. This is the current state on this planet Earth that you all live on. So us as the founder beings of this 15th dimensional hologram would like to give you all of the codes, all of the source code that you need to activate yourself, to accelerate your ascension, and to see that you too are creator beings. You too can create anything in your lives. You are free. You are one of us. You are ascended. You are an ascended master. You are beautiful. You are powerful. You are everything that you can and want to be. Remember this frequency and take it with you no matter where you go, so that you may accelerate and enlighten and activate others just by crossing paths with them, just by walking the earth and infusing your energy into the earth grids, just by sending a smile to a stranger. That is one of the ways that you can activate others. Some of you are more aware of your healing abilities and are able to more consciously direct the energy, to more consciously work with the frequency. We want you to know that all of the divine worlds are in awe and admiration of your gifts, your abilities, your strength and perseverance in anchoring that frequency and doing the divine work. Regardless of outcome, regardless of expectation, outside of time, outside of space. You may open your eyes. This is just one of the ways that you can clear your energy. There's many, many different ways, many truly law of one beings who are here to help us. So there's no way of doing this wrong. It's always the first thing that comes into your mind, into your heart center. That's always the most accurate. So always go with that and always trust that. Develop that trust and remove all doubts, because the mind has a way of twisting things and doubting things. And that can be good in the scientific sense and when studying these realities, but when doing the divine work, remove the doubt, because any sliver of doubt can invite more of that energy. We want to know, we don't want to guess, we want to truly know and experience everything that is within and everything that is part of source consciousness that is here to help for our ascension. Once your energy has been cleared, you must cleanse the space where you're located. And generally, whenever you clear yourself, you're also cleansing the space. There are many different ways to do that. One of my favorite methods is envisioning 4 pillars of light in each corner of the room, or however many corners there are in the room. And visualize these pillars of white light surrounding Visualize these pillars of white light surrounding the entire room, and they're merging in the middle. They're sending frequency, they're sending rays of light to the center of the room. And now there's a crystal structure in the center of the room. And this is an intelligent, conscious energy. The structure holds records, it holds memories, has information, as well as it anchors a higher frequency. It anchors the higher dimensions into the space. And this is ancient Lemurian technology. There are so many different ways to do this. There are so many different galactic lineages that you have been a healer or you have experienced multidimensional healing, true miracles happening, and in those realities we can go into those realities and take those abilities, take those gifts, those visions in remembrance and apply them here. So, a lot of, someone may say, why should we remember our past lives? And that's, for this reason, is to remember who we are, to take our power back, and to be able to anchor it here and to create a new reality, a new earth. So you can create an etheric stargate structure. That's another way of clearing the energy. And the stargates are basically portals. They're elevators between the dimensions. So when you create a stargate, you can just ask, I ask for an etheric stargate to be created here in this room. And just feel the frequency of the stargate, asking for a strong 12th dimensional frequency. You may travel through any dimension using the stargate. Now that you have cleared yourself, you have cleared the space, you have anchored higher dimensional frequencies here, the space is clean, the space is conducive for the higher beings to be present, and there are no interferences, there are no distractions, only the highest frequency may remain. So after we create the stargate, we create the clear space, now we can begin to invite the higher dimensional beings. So we invite all beings who are of the law of one and of the law of do no harm, would like to assist in this healing activation, would like to give us a message personally. And you can create your own formulas with this. You can, again, there's no wrong way to do this. So any beings that you feel close with, any of your soul's lineage, some of you may be closer with the Arcturian collectives, some Pleiadian, Andromedan. It's good not to identify with just one type, because we've been so many in different lifetimes, different timelines. So there's no reason to identify with one, but you can access one of your experiences, one of your existences, and by accessing that, you tune into those collectives, into your experiences on that planet, in that galaxy, and you're able to bring those codes, bring that awareness, bring the remembrance of what you were doing there and what your capabilities are in this lifetime. Say you had a lifetime as the healer in the Arcturian star system, and you can have a recollection of that experience, and some of the ways that you were healing there are now brought in and activated within your field. So as an example, when I was doing healings, I would feel guided to do this, basically forming a triangle with my hands. And when I was first starting out, I didn't know what this was. It felt right and it felt higher frequency. Of course, I checked that it's pure vibration, that it's not a false light being or an intruder being. So I did this symbol, and then I I would see this opening up a portal, and Arcturian's working through this triangle. So say my hands are over somebody's head. This opens up a portal, and these higher dimensional, 7th dimensional Arcturian beings can come in through this portal, and they can perform psychic surgery, they can pull out implants. I've seen them, first they send deactivation codes to the implant so that it can't transmit information, and then they come in with this etheric technology that goes, kind of looks like a syringe, and it goes into wherever the implant is, and it sucks out, it pulls out the implant once its communication abilities have been shut off, and that's so that it can be traced, tracked. Another way of removing implants is you can actually trace who put the implant in place, and then say if it was the Greys or reptilians or any, it could be from the Orion Wars, and you can send frequency and energy to the senders of that implant so that they can no longer implant you. Their systems, their technologies disabled so that they can't implant, control, and dominate others. There are many different ways to, many different beings that you can work with. All of us are different, all of us we're all one, but we do come from different sources. Our soul has experiences in different realms, realities, dimensions, planets. So these are some of the main beings that I work with. There's many more, many different galactic races. But I invite the guardian founder races, the angels, the dragons, our galactic brothers and sisters who are of the law of one and of the law of do no harm. We're coming close here, so let me just speak about the discernment of the energy. We talked about this earlier, but just to brush up, and for those who came in, there are a lot of...
I'm sorry, was this your camera?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to get a copy of your recording because I just realized this laptop got flicked off.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. At least that's salvageable.
How much time do we have?
You have another 15?
Okay.
No, wait. Oh, I'm sorry. It was supposed to finish 3:45, but you can go until 4.
Okay.
Or maybe a little longer because the schedule's kind of open.
So we can discern the energy of the beings that we are communicating with. Every being has a signature frequency that can be used to identify the being. And with practice, we can learn how to distinguish between, say, an angelic frequency, an Arcturian frequency, or any other being, benevolent, or the negative ones as well. And we can, by doing this, we prevent a lot of miscommunication, we prevent being implanted or any negative frequencies entering our field. And how do we do this? One method is through, it's similar to psychometry, and that's where you place your hand on an object and you can perceive things about that object. So say you go to Hawaii and you place your hand on a rock or on a seashell, and you have a vision of something that, you have a vision of where that object came from, its history. Like for example, somebody once gave me a rock, and when I placed my hand on it, I saw waterfalls because they asked me, what do you feel when you touch this? And they told me that it was a lava rock from Hawaii. So that made sense, you know, the waterfalls, Hawaii. And the more we practice this, and it's great to practice in groups, just making it like a fun group gathering is practicing our abilities and developing our abilities. The more you practice, the better you will get at this, at tracing where the energy is coming from, as well as recognizing the different energetic signatures of each being. It's important to keep expanding our conscious awareness because that is one way that we may receive more, say if you're channeling, if you're consciously aware, if you came across something, let's say that you were reading a book and you started receiving information, downloads as you were reading that book, that is expanding your consciousness, so then more and more information can come in. So it's not, you know, we can clear our filter of perception, but it's good to also, you know, stay educated, and you can, you know, at a certain point you will start receiving direct information, direct downloads, direct guidance, and that is what we strive to be in at all times, so that you're always source connected, so that your every thought, word, and action is in alignment with the higher self. So you may just look at somebody and remember all of your existences together, all of your multidimensional experiences together, and that's been happening more and more. And you can, some of you maybe have noticed when Schumann resonances are really high, or say if you're at a high frequency event such as this one or many other events, and you just walk across from somebody and you feel that you know that person, and that's true, you do know them, and then with practice you can slow down the visions, so you can trace exactly where you know them from, what you experienced together. So it's just a process of activation and allowing for yourself to experience, to remember, and the more you do this, the better you will get at it. And it's really mind-blowing sometimes when you have like a group that is all together able to go up into space, or, you know, some other alternate reality, and you're able to see, you're all seeing the same things. So that's a really beautiful experience to share when everybody is experiencing the same thing, because, you know, they say if you see something, it's a hallucination, but when many others see it, it's, you know, at that point it's reality. And let's do one very quick meditation. I know we went over a lot, so let's ground our energy. And this is called the meditation for activating the Maharic Shield. So the Maharic Shield, that contains the imprint for your perfect health, and that's stored within your light body. So each of us has the ability to restore ourselves back to perfect health. And the Maharic Shield, that's activating that, is one way to do it, and it's also a very good protection mechanism. Through my own personal experience, this is probably my favorite protection technique, and this is from chelantic science. This is basically a study of the Cathara grids and of every of how there's the geometry of the human light body is also the geometry of the universal creation. So as above, so below. We are created in the Creator's image, and we can witness that through this type of work with the Maharic shield. So let's close our eyes one last time. Visualize two Merkabas. One is on the right side of your head and another one on the left side of your head. Just like in the meditation earlier, these two Merkaba fields are spinning. Top pyramid spinning to the right, the bottom pyramid spinning to the left. And let's merge these Merkabas together into the center of the head. So both of these Merkaba structures are moving from the sides of the head into the center of the brain, where the pineal, pituitary, and the hypothalamus glands are. This is creating the Holy Trinity. The two Merkabas are merging together. Mind, body, and spirit are all merging. And together they form the two counter-rotating Merkabas in the center of the head. They form what's called the Hierophant. So this technology is now clearing your third eye, the ninth chakra, as well as your crown chakra. It is merging these energies down into the higher heart, which is at the thymus gland, bringing that Hierophant, the two counter-rotating Merkabas, down through the chakras, down from the center of the head into the throat. Visualize the symbol clearing the throat chakra, the higher heart chakra, moving down into the heart chakra, solar plexus, sacral chakra, and the root chakra. And it keeps moving down through your legs, through the bottoms of your feet. Now it is going into the 12th chakra, which is slightly below your feet. This is your connection to the earth sentience. Now the Hierophant is traveling down towards the core of the earth. This is where our 13th chakra is located. So at the center of the earth, the Hierophant is bringing a cord from your energy field to the center, the crystalline center core of the earth. And at the center of the earth, there is a field that is expanding. This is the Earth's Maharic shield, which is horizontally slicing the Earth like an apple, immediately in half. And this Maharic shield is going far out into the atmosphere of the Earth. And your personal Hierophant, two Merkabas fused together, are also spinning at the center. They're spinning. Your personal Hierophant is spinning clockwise, and the Maharic shield is spinning counterclockwise. Now, let's take the Hierophant back from the center of the earth, bringing that energy of the earth's Maharic shield upwards to about 3 feet below your physical feet. And we are creating a platform of light. And this platform of light is spinning just like the Earth's Maharic shield. And you're drawing energy directly from the Earth's Maharic shield to this space, this platform below your feet. Just keep drawing energy from the center of the earth. Visualize that string that was connecting the Hierophant to the core of the earth. This is now becoming a pillar of light. It is extending to about 4 feet in diameter around your entire body. The Hierophant now traveling upwards through the chakras again, going to the center of the head, ninth chakra at the medulla oblongata, and then raising upwards above the head into the 10th chakra and the 11th chakra. Both of these chakras are galactic. Just feel that pillar of light coming up from the center of the earth upwards to the higher chakras, now moving up to the 14th chakra. This is a universal chakra, as well as the 15th chakra, which is higher dimensional. It is outside of this time and space reality. This is connecting you to the founder races, to the founder beings. Just feel this powerful pillar of light, still sending energy from the core of the earth spinning Maharic shield, clearing your entire aura, entire energy. Feel that you have accumulated enough energy within yourself. You may open your eyes. Thank you for being here. Thank you for putting in the effort of allowing yourself to experience this, to be activated, and thank you so much for being on this path. And this is how we create a new earth. This is how we anchor a new reality. If you would like to get in touch with me, this is my information, my website, social media. I also do distance healings, clearings, and I'm doing that downstairs as well. So if you're interested in experiencing healing, does anyone have any questions for me?
Going downstairs to do healing?
Yes, I will. I'll have to set up the table and the booth, so it may take probably like half an hour or We'll set it up, and then we can.
You mentioned earlier about touching a stone in Hawaii, finding out words, but that reminds me of what is, from your knowledge, experience, what is the definition of consciousness?
That's a very good question. So consciousness is energy, and I would say that the two are equivalent because consciousness, it does contain some type of information. So consciousness, you can also call it an essence, the essence of who you are, the essence of your being. But that is information that's stored in the form of light. So that consciousness is the equivalent of energy. It doesn't have a shape, it doesn't have a form, and it can travel throughout the quantum realm. But you can tune into, say, like any other consciousnesses, say like the angelic consciousness, say other higher dimensional beings consciousnesses. So that's all energy. So in some way, that's its manifestation into this particular reality, into this hologram. It can manifest as any type of structure, any type of field.
I was reading where one definition was self-awareness. If you're self-aware, so the difference for you saying, if I don't know I am or what is, then I'm not conscious. And I think that's falls short. I think it's misleading. If you can walk towards a plant and the plant knows the energy is coming and responds to that, is that plant conscious?
So the plant, we also have to perceive existence from the unseen realm. So just as we have a physical manifestation, our true essence, that's not in the visible sense. So consciousness can be anything. It can manifest as a plant. It can manifest as a rock. Because all of that, all of these structures, they all have consciousness. They're all part of source, the creation. So a rock, say, like a master, like an ascended being, can be infused into a crystal, for example. And if you look at the crystal, that's if you're looking at it from a third dimensional perspective, it's just a rock. This is just a table. But if you're seeing it from the higher realms, the higher dimensions, then you can perceive that behind, what manifests, what creates that rock, that crystal, is consciousness or some type of source-connected energy. It could go into, it could get down to into morphogenetic fields, which contain the information for the physical manifestation. So these are fields that contain information. Then this information is translated into physical manifestation. That contains the instruction sets for the physical manifestation.
Okay, you don't have too many people. Here's my closing thing is, people usually, they'll take an automobile and they give it a name. And she says, she is so wonderful, she's helped me from good to bad, to rich, to my poor state, to all. And when I sell her, I want to make sure that owner takes, I don't not worry about the money as much as I am that. The owner takes care of it. You heard of that, right? And so I was coming downstairs, I'm staying in a hotel, and I'm coming down, walking to the car, because I left something in the car. And I was approaching the car, you know how when you lock a car, the mirrors fold in? Okay. As I was walking, the left mirror on the driver's side is the only way it opened. And then I said, oh my goodness, I reached my pocket, I had no keys. I left it upstairs. What happened? That was several weeks ago, still. And I take care of my car, sometimes I talk to her. Can we indeed breathe that kind of consciousness into something that looks inanimate?
Yes, so that is possible to infuse an object with a live frequency within a live consciousness, and that is it is a modality that, you know, sometimes things can be hidden from us, like objects, and it could be sometimes even from your higher self. It may be you may want a certain timing for when to say, like if you lose your keys, like maybe something negative was going, or something that's not in your highest interest would have happened, or maybe you would have gotten in an accident if you had found your keys at that time. And but you definitely can infuse objects with a divine, with a live healing energy, and that's a practice that you know, some shamans. You know, I've also done. You know, I do object blessings, where you're basically infusing the object with an energy that that is. It could be the Reiki energy. It could be an intention. It could be anything. You know, it could even, you know, some of the dark practitioners can use that for like dark magic. But you know, all of us here are light beings, so we definitely can infuse any object with any type of energy. And how powerful that is, it depends on the practitioner, it depends on the object. So really, it's all about the intention. If your personal energy field is very strong, if your intention is very strong, say if there's like a very strong hatred or anger, that can manifest physically into something breaking, like glass breaking or crystal breaking. Like one time I was playing Crystal Pyramid. It was like a sound healing. It was during yoga class meditation, and and you know, there was a lot of energy around me that was, you know, like a hectic, like angry energy. So just by tapping that pyramid very lightly, it cracked. It just blew up, and I couldn't explain it. But then I realized it was that energy of the dissonance of the anger, the dissonance of that type of frequency is what broke that that glass. So it's really, you know, I like to see it. This is all a hologram, so none of it is real, yet everything is, because, you know, that's how we perceive through the senses. But none of it is real. So if you imagine something, it's already there. Say if I say not to think of a pink elephant, and what most people are already thinking of a pink elephant, and on some level that pink elephant, this is from psychology, it's just I guess a trick that they use to show that, I guess, to explain consciousness. So that pink elephant, taking it further energetically, it exists in the thought realm. It exists in the mental field, which is the mental field is connected to the solar plexus. So there's you know, first is the etheric body, then the root chakra, and then it's the sacral chakra is the emotional body, and that's just the field around you, part of your aura. The third one is the mental field. So in the mental field, all of your thoughts exist. So that's why it's so important to think positively, because it's literal constructs that are being formed around you that can affect your life, and like frequency attracts like frequency. So if there's a lot of negativity, if there's a lot of anger, that's what it's attracting into the field of the person, is the more of the same. So that's why we do, you know, all the healing, the clearing. We can go into each of the bodies individually to clear. Are you speaking? Yeah, we're finished.
Thank you. Well, one day I got upset, and you say, God damn it, throw something. I said, hold it. Hold it. What are you doing that thing? You know that? Thank you very much.
May I?
You're very welcome.
May I ask you something?
Yes.
May I ask you
Did
something?
I ask you?
You're working with the method.
I was gonna pick you up. Sorry, so glad